Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we'll talk about scenes transition. If you missed the previous videos about player movement, camera controller, and the Unity Singleton patterns, including 3 tile maps, I have uploaded the project on my Google Drive. Also, I highly recommend you to watch my several videos if you want. All resources can be downloaded by my GitHub, so don't worry too much about if you are the first time to watch this video. Also, each time I will review our current step at the beginning. We will show all of our current script and the game object settings to you. Okay, let's get started. We have 3 things in our Unity 2D project. We have one player with the rigid body and collider component, and the rigid body is responsible for controlling our player movement. By the way, the gravity force in rigid body component is set to 0. The collider is added for some collisions with our game environment, such like the wall or some locked entrance. Also, we have one Singleton Pattern player controller script. We have global access this class and its public variable. Also, in different things, we will have only one player controller. We have the x-axis and the y-axis input and its move speed. And bunch of this part is our Singleton Pattern. In camera controller, we make it smoothly move and restrain the camera movement range. If you want to see the details, you can click more videos on my channel. In this video, we will focus on the scenes transition. We want our player can enter and leave in different scenes correctly and save this point as a prefab when we finish this tutorial. Because we will have the exit game object in different scenes, so we have to create one string type variables to represent our scene's name. For scenes 1, we want to move to scenes 2. For scenes 2, might we want to back to scenes 1 or go forward to the scenes 3. So we create new variables called scenes name and use these variables to change your string type. Now we want after scenes transition, our player appear to the right position. After scenes transition, our player controller also appear under our scenes as well. So we want to give our player controller one variables to save your password. When we enter to another scenes, we can check whether player controller password is the same as this scene's entrance password or not. If these two variables are the same value, our player can enter to it and give him the right position. If not, we can show some warning on the console window. We create one string variables called password. You can create PW or anything easy for you to understand. Inside the exit script, when player move to this area, leave this room, we can assign one password to our player. We can use the Singleton pattern write player.instance.password. Now we give our player one new scene's password, and this new scene's password value has saved to our player controller instance.password. Now turn to our second scene. We have created another game object called entrance and create a new C# script. Drag the new script to the entrance game object. Inside the entrance script, we have to make one determination. If our player password is equals to the entrance password, we have entered to the right position. We have give this string type flow 01. Else statement, if our player password is not to the entrance password, which means we get lost. We have wrong password. So back to Unity and play. First, focus on our player game object scene's password variables. When we enter the exit collider, we have received one string variable's value. Then, after scenes transition to scenes 2, the console window shows enter. Perfect. We now have the right password and enter correctly. Now we can try to change the exit values and test again. because our entrance password is still the floor 01, but we change our exit password in Scenes 2 to floor 03. So our player controller's password is floor 03, which is not equals to our Scenes 2 player entrance password. Console window will show the wrong password. So we can assign the entrance position to our player. We can simply use Singleton Pattern's features. Player controller dot instance dot scenes password is equals to our entrance current position. We type the current position as the transform dot position. This script is attached to the entrance game object, so we can simply use the transform dot position. We can go to the Scenes 2 and give the entrance right position and play the game again. When we enter to the Scenes 2, our player will automatically enter on the entrance position. Perfect. The camera did not follow our player because we did not drag the camera controller to this camera in Scenes 2. So we drag our camera script and change the variable values on this inspector. So it's a great way to review our camera controller. And try again. After complete the variables on the camera controller, let's try again. Perfect. Now we found one error. Why my player cannot enter this road? I tried to find many solutions and finally I found that my box collider is so big and bigger than the road height. We have almost finished our first scene transition. We want to move from Scenes 2, bank, to Scenes 1. So first, let's bank to Scenes 1 and create one empty object called entrance. Then drag the entrance script to the game object. Also drag the entrance game object to the right position. Focus on this point. We cannot overlap with the exit area because we don't want our player bank to the Scenes 1 at the same time he trigger the exit collider in Scenes 1. We create one folder called Prefabs and drag the exit game object to the folder. But first I have to make the entrance game object as a child of the exit game object. Now bind to Scenes 2 and delete the previous game object first. Then we can drag the prefab to the hierarchy. We drag the exit area to the bottom of the scene map. Also don't forget to adjust the entrance position. First, change the scene's name. When we enter this collider area, we want to bind to the first scene. Copy the first scene's name and paste it to the first slot. Then our exit password is floor 00. This string type should be the same as the entrance password in the first scene. The entrance password in the scene 2 shall be floor seal 1, shall be the same as the exit password in the first scene. Now, back to the scene 1 and check the variables. Exit password in scene 1 should be the same entrance password in scene 2. Then press the play buttons and test. Great, we can switch to scenes now. Perfect. If you feel a little confusion, the reason might be the variable's name is so long and so similar. You can use your customized name for your own. Also, I have shown you one image for easy to read. Here is one coding challenge. We want our player leave from the scene 2 and move to the scene 3. Also, we also want our player 3 to move back to the scene 2. Pause the videos and try it. If you're understanding the logic, these methods can be easy for you. These methods can be solve many problems about scenes transition in your game. Okay, let's back to Unity. Command or Control D to duplicate our first exist game object. Drag to our top entrance. Copy our scenes 3 name and paste to the scenes name variables in our exit script. During the coding challenge, we made one mistake on here. We created 2 exist game objects in my second scene. While doing recording these videos, I did not focus we have 2 exit names as the same value, which caused me so much time to find this error. If you want to see the details mistakes, you can continue to watch it. Also, I have shown you one explanation for you to better understand this logic. If you have finished yet, you can jump to here. By the way, if you want your camera follow your player, you have to go to each scene and set the camera controller script to each main camera and set the details variables to restrain the camera movement range. Alright, let's review the logic. When the player leaves the room or leave the floor, we will receive one password from the exit area. And then in the next scene's start method, we will make one if statement. If our player password is equals to the entrance password in Scenes 2, which means our password correct, our player will entrance to the right position. Very cool, right? Okay, this is the end of this video. In the next video, we want our scenes transition with the fade in and fade out visual effects instead of the suddenly scenes transition. We will talk about the class constructor and the coroutine methods. The execution of the coroutine can be paused at any time using the yield statement. When the yield statement is used, the coroutine will pause execution and automatically resume at the next frame. Thanks so much for this video. If you like this video, hope smash the likes and the subscribe button. Each click will encourage me a lot. Very appreciate. See you in the next time.